over here. So anyways, we're getting into the Are You Serious segment. Okay, happy Mother's Day, everybody. It's Mother's Day. I'm working like always. Okay, so pregnant and alone. Pregnant and alone. This is another Mother's Day situation. I don't know how many mothers out here are mothers and they pregnant and alone. I'm alone. I'm not pregnant, but I'm alone. If you, especially being a single mom like I was and raising my kids, and I wasn't a perfect mom, but I raised my kids. They got everything they wanted, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes your kids forget about you, you know what I'm saying? You know, I've learned that, hey, it's just another holiday or whatever. And, you know, like the first time my kids missed Mother's Day to even tell me Happy Mother's Day, it kind of hurt my feelings because you're a mother. You know, you kill yourself. You're a single mom. You raise your kids. You struggle. You get them the best. You make sure that they got presents under the tree. They never miss a Thanksgiving. And, you know, these new kids generation, I'm not going to say all of them, but they're all messed up. All right. I'm not good with my kids think that they can lip me, talk caca, and I'm your mama at the end of the day. You will respect me. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is that I'm not saying that my kids are disrespectful, but some kids get too comfortable. They think you're like their friend. You know what? It's okay to be cool with your kids, but you can't be too much of their friend. You know what I'm saying? My kids hate the word no. And that's my fault because when they were little, I spoiled them. They had the best. They had Nikes. You know, I had a brand new truck. You know, I had my job. You know what I'm saying? They never had to been without. And that's the problem. Some of us, mom, we spoil our kids so much that when they grow up, they think they deserve it. Like, oh, well, you know, well, anyway, that's another story. But my whole thing is like pregnant and alone on Mother's Day, that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? I think men that do that they know that their baby mama are pregnant and you don't even remember to send her flowers or even, acknowledge that she's carrying your child. You know, man, you need to understand this. I get that sometimes you make a mistake, you know what I'm saying, and you get some women pregnant that you don't want to get pregnant. But at the end of the day, that's your child growing in that womb. You know what I'm saying? That's your blood. And you have to keep the mama healthy because at the end of the day, even if you don't care about her, she's still carrying your child. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all, man, you got women pregnant and leave them and you're with somebody else. Next thing you know, baby mama pregnant at home because you decided that the relationship is no good and you're not remembering her on Mother's Day because you got some other chick. That is so trifling to me. Look. If you got somebody pregnant, I don't care if you don't like her or dislike her, whatever, that is still your seed in there. And I understand that some of you men be like, oh, I don't know if that's my kid, but okay, think about this. How about if you do get a DNA after the baby is born and you find out it is your child and you were a bad daddy before, they were born. You don't want to ever, you men, I'm talking about you men, you don't ever want to be a bad dad even during their pregnancy because the mama gonna tell it. Yeah, your dad wasn't there for me when I was pregnant. We're gonna tell our kids the truth. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all may say, oh, my kids don't get along with me because their mother be saying stuff. Let me tell you something. Kids grow up and they realize how they fathers are. You know what I'm saying? Like my kid's father, they ain't no good. They ain't no good. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I raised my kids by myself. Like I said, my ex was always in and out of prison. He never did nothing for the babies. You know what I'm saying? I was the working. I was the one taking care of the family, the bills and the rent and everything. And let me tell you something. I'm glad strong women, a lot of men don't like strong women because we don't get phased. We don't get phased. We're not going to sit here and cry. We're not going to sit here and a strong women have that mentality. I got to keep on going. I got to keep on working. Got to keep on doing what I do. Now, this is what I'm telling to the pregnant women out here that's spending Mother's Day by themselves. Mira, or even everyday life. Look, You need to forget about that man. Focus on your baby that's in your womb. You know what I'm saying? And that they grow up, whether it's if it's a boy, that they grow up to be a responsible man. You know, not like their daddy. Or if it's a girl, you need to teach her ethics. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we raise our kids to be good human beings, but when they get to high school, they start hanging with the wrong people. It's not always a parent problem. It's who they're hanging problem. Because it's like kids get their own identity when they start going to high school. Let me tell you, okay? So my whole thing is this. We as parents can do so much. And then you have the government stopping you from disciplining your kids. You can't spank your kids because it's child abuse. But then when he's breaking into cars and doing illegal stuff, then you want to call the parent, you know, your child is doing this. No, you know what? Don't say nothing to me, because when I was whooping their butt, you were telling me I couldn't hit them. This is why these kids are so out of control nowadays, because the law protects them. They throw the parent, you know, instead of looking at the child. There's kids out here beating up on their mamas. You know what I'm saying? I went to court one day on a domestic case, and it wasn't for me. It was for order protection against somebody. Anyway, so, well, actually, it wasn't a domestic for me. It was just an order protection. That's what I'm trying to say. And when I went, right, I'm going in the building or whatever, and there's this black female, right, this older lady. She had stitches in her face. She was all cut up. Her hair was all, like, with stitches and everything. I mean, it was horrible. It looked like something from a movie, like a nightmare movie, right? And I asked her, excuse me, but I'm not trying to be nosy or whatever, but what happened to you? Like, you can look at it. It just gave you goosebumps because she was so cut up, everything. And you know what she told me? My son tried to kill me. Her son tried to kill her, okay? Kill her. And my whole thing is, this is what I'm telling you about. You government people are always protecting these kids. Oh, you spanked a child, he's got a mark bell. That's child abuse. No, that ain't child abuse. That's discipline, damn it. I don't care. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If I had to hit my child when they were young, yes, I hit them. Because they didn't know how, they were acting crazy. You know, like, you know what? Let me tell you something. I don't think if I had spanked my kids the way I spanked them, and there were, especially my daughter, she you know, when they start getting really young teenagers, they start getting crazy. I don't think if I spanked my kids the way I think they would have been on drugs or you know, doing some crazy stuff. You know, my son works. He's a hard worker. My daughter's a hard worker. You know, she gets into her problems, but you know, she's into her music or whatever. But my whole thing is this, you know, the saddest thing is to watch a child, you know, like when I see these men all drugged up in the streets or whatever, and you start thinking, man, that's somebody's kid. You know what I'm saying? When they high and they're all like this and shit, yeah, you know, and they're all, you know, begging out there. I thank God that my kids didn't come out like that. You know what I'm saying? That they came out to be intelligent human beings. And believe me when I tell you, my kids are intelligent. And my whole thing is this. It's like, I think the spanking kind of helped. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I see some of these parents that don't spank their kids. They'll be running all over the store. I hate parents that sit there and say, well, like, you know, I live on somebody can live on top of me. And I hate when the noise, when the kids are running around and then, well, they're just being kids. I can't control my kids from making noise. Excuse you? You know, I lived on third floors. I always lived in high-level apartments. And no one ever complained about my babies running around. And they had nothing to do with, oh, I had them sitting down. No, I had them sitting down doing something proactive instead of running around in the house like it's a park. You know what I'm saying? Some people, when their kids grow up, and the thing is that some of these parents are not disciplined and not respectful, and then when their kids grow up to be disrespectful to them and to the community and to their teachers and to their law enforcement or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and in their jobs, it's because you as a parent, you out in the street arguing with some block watch lady, calling her names or whatever, you know, and you're being ghetto, then you wonder why your kids grow up to be ghetto like you, because you're teaching your kids. Let me tell you something. When I was raising my babies, I was always working. I was in school. And you know what I'm saying? I think my kids saw me fighting one time because this lady hit my brand new Chevy truck, brand new out the shop, you know what I'm saying, out the dealership, because she was mad. And this woman actually worked for a daycare that my daughter used to go to. You know, she didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you, she didn't win that fight. But the police came or whatever. This was years ago. But the thing is, I think that was only once. And even I did that once, I can hear my daughter in the car crying. You know what I'm saying? And saying, mommy, mommy. And, you know, that was so heartbreaking to me that I never did it again. Because I felt like it traumatized my kids to see me. You know what I'm saying? My son had to get out the car and try to, you know, tell this woman to you know, it's something, you traumatize your kids. And ever since that happened, I was always, you know, I never, ever again, you fool me once, don't fool me again. You know, if I got to get into something when they were babies, I'll take them to the house. Well, I got to take my kids to the house. Hold them up. I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? You traumatize your kids. Don't traumatize your kids because you want to be disrespectful to somebody. And some of these parents do it all the time. They don't even acknowledge that it's wrong. You got your baby crying. I've seen videos where parents are in the groceries yelling and fighting with their babies all, you know what? Anyway. My whole thing is this, I went off the subject, is that if you're pregnant and by yourself, the whole point is focus on that child so that child can be a better person in the community and a better person and professional person, and teach your kids how to talk right. Don't think that when your kids are like, yo, what's that, you know, talking ghetto, yeah, my mama say, my old daddy, that don't look cute. You know, I've been in places where I've seen kids, oh, the way they talk, you can tell that their parents has educated them because of the way they talk. You know what I'm saying? They talk so nice. They talk educated. I was in a store one time, and it was some black kids, and they were like, yeah, black. I'm black too, so I can say black. I can say whatever I want to say. So anyway, and there was, you know, the way they were talking, and their mama. But I don't know who raised their baby, but they were talking like they came from somewhere from the White House or something, the way they were talking. They talk so educated. They talk very fine. Oh, that's a beautiful thing when you see a child talking like they talk better than grown-ups, you know. The way they articulate, you know, it's so beautiful. Then you see some kids be like, you be like, oh, Jesus, I know you ain't getting no home training, you know. Look, you want to be however you want to be. Don't teach your kids who you are. If you want to smoke pot, don't teach your kids that that's cool, even though it's legal. But my whole thing is, if you want to get drunk, don't do it. When I went out, I never had people over my house drinking over my house. They would come to my house, my friends, and say, we got to go. I never did stuff like that in front of my babies. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing, if you're pregnant, raise your kids. Forget about the guy. If he don't want you, he don't want you. Deuces, have a nice life. Okay, I got my baby, I'm pregnant. This is me. This is me. This is my human being. Whether you want to acknowledge him or not, he's always going to be mine and he's always going to be yours. And you don't want to acknowledge him, sooner or later, girl, he going to come back looking for that baby. Okay? He going to come back looking for that baby. And if he never come back looking for that baby, that's all right. That's all right. Don't live your life thinking, oh, I'm pregnant, he doesn't want to be with me. So what? So what? Man, mandalo pa carajo. So what? Be strong, be you. Take care of your child. Focus. All those months you're pregnant, you should be focusing on yourself and your baby. That should keep you occupied. Go to the doctors, do what you do. That should keep up. Don't get emotional. And I know that when women are pregnant, because hella, they get emotional or whatever. But no, take that emotion, do something else. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, ladies, there's a lot of men out here that will date pregnant women and end up being the baby daddy, raising them. They didn't make them, but they raise them. My whole thing is, you know what? Be pregnant, be happy. Because however you feel, the baby's feeling it. And I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard. But first think about the baby before you think about yourself. Because everything you bring into that baby and into your stomach, they feel your pain. They feel your tears. They feel when you're sad. They feel when you're hot. So don't, come on now. All right? So happy Mother's Day to everybody. And I want everybody to have a nice little Mother's Day. I'm going to try to have a nice Mother's Day. I'm working, obviously. So anyways, we're going to get into the, when we come back, we're going to get into the star segment because I want to talk about Johnny Depp's situation. And that's one thing I really want to get into. So here we go. Let me get this here together. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You're watching Mighty Stars and Drama.